just start by saying how proud I was of our team today, not only today but all year, and certainly this week. We had a disappointing couple of weeks here, but I mean these guys came back and really bounced back. Had a good week of practice, had a good week of focus, and played competitively today. It's always good to see some of the plays that we execute in practice be executed well in the game situations. We had some of those today. Obviously, the turnovers were a big part of the game, not turning the ball over and getting 2 turnovers. So that was good. We played pretty good situational football, scored in the red area, had a red area stop, converted better on 3rd down. So those things were those were helpful, but ultimately it was I thought a good field position day for us in the kicking game, with the returns and the punting, kickoff coverage. So overall felt like we had a little advantage there. But again, just proud of the way that the team and the players competed this week. We had several guys that didn't play, David and Shaq and Therese and Jen Aidens-Bauer, a bunch of linebackers on defense. And so, Chase came back in after he hurt his hand and had it clubbed up and, finished the game. And so, things like that. We go right down the roster, right down the line, but just a lot of examples of toughness, competitiveness, guys that love playing football. And, I just have a lot of respect for coaches and the players, the members of this team. Obviously, the results this year weren't what we had hoped for, but doesn't change my appreciation for their efforts and again what they tried to do. So guys like Cody Davis and John Bentley, LG, Lawrence Guy, were banged up. Had some guys playing on the offensive line that hadn't. Corey, played most of the second half of tackle. Hasn't played much this year. So, some guys had got an opportunity to play, and not that was the goal. They were forced into it, but in a way, their hard work and all paid off, and at least gave them an opportunity to to do that. And it was good to end a disappointing season on a positive note, but that still isn't. It's certainly not where we wanted to be here at the end of the year. But today was today, and all we could do is control today. And so, again, I appreciate all the players and the way the team performed. Thought Cam's given us a lot of leadership all day. Certainly gave it to us today. The first run and getting the ball in the end zone. So that was a again just part of the leadership that he's given us all year, especially with Andrews out and being a little shorthanded there offensively. So I don't really have anything to say about next year. We just got finished with the game. We but we head into the game, so I'm not gonna talk about anything beyond today, because I'm not prepared to talk about it.
We'll go ahead and open up with questions. We're going to start with Dan Roach, followed by Yanni Caracas.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, Dan.
Just maybe how happy were you to see a guy like Cam rewarded with 3 touchdown passes and even a touchdown reception after the work that he had put in coming into a new system, dealing with COVID, and maybe the numbers didn't show up. You've talked about how hard he's worked this year. How happy were you to see him have that kind of day?
Yeah, well, look, I'm happy to see anybody have a good day. That's what we work for, and these guys work hard. They put in a lot of physical effort, a lot of mental effort, a lot of group effort, and so it's always rewarding to see positive results, whether it be Cam or Sony or our offensive line or John Jones or Adam Butler or anybody. It doesn't I'm happy for all of them. So it was just good to see the team respond in all three phases, and I thought we played competitively. It wasn't certainly perfect. There was things we could have done better for sure, but I thought they competed well and played competitively in all three phases, and so I'm proud of the team for that.
Next question, Yanni Caracas, followed by Doug Kyed.
Hey, Bill, when you usually lose in the playoffs, there's a brutal finality to it all. You don't know when it's coming. In this situation, are you sort of at peace where things are because you knew going into this game that this was your last game? So you can be proud of the performance today, but as you said, look back and still have disappointment on what transpired over the 16 games?
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. Yeah, that's pretty much sums up the feelings. Yep.
If I could have a quick follow, there was a report on ESPN today that there's an understanding between you and Cam Newton that you'll be going in different directions this offseason. Is there an understanding that this was Cam's final game?
Yeah. Well, is that another one of your anonymous reports?
That was from Adam Schefter this morning.
Yeah, I don't think that's what Adam said. You should talk to Adam about that then.
Thanks.
Great question.
Next
Thank
question,
you.
Doug Kyed, followed by Jim McBride.
Hey, Bill, we know Jacoby's history at quarterback, but when did the team develop trust in him to throw the ball in games?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, he's always been able to throw the ball. Julian's been able to throw it. I mean, guys that played quarterback, previously in their career, it's even if they throw the ball back to the the ball boy at the line of scrimmage after they catch a pass, I mean you sort of notice it. So I had an opportunity to use some of those plays.
And just one quick follow. Sony had a big day in the passing game. How much have you seen him develop that aspect of his game this season?
Yeah, I think Sony really, probably developed more of it, after his rookie year. But, he works hard at the passing game. Fortunately, we were able to get the ball out to him in space a couple times, and sometimes that's a lot easier than, having to block a lot of guys and get through the line of scrimmage. So, those passes that give the backs the ball with, an opportunity to run with it, or those are good opportunities. I know backs love those, so they can, see fewer defenders and see more space. But yeah, no, it was good.
Thank you.
Next question, Jim McBride, followed by Phil Perry.
Hi, Coach. I wanted to ask you about Chase Winovich's performance today. He seemed like he brought a lot of energy and had a lot of effect on Darnold.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I thought Chase played hard like he always does, and brought some good pressure, some inside pressure on the quarterback. With Josh Uche out, and Chase stepped up, and Rashad Berry stepped up, and played some for us too. So overall we had decent pressure on the quarterback, forced him out of the pocket a couple times, and at least knocked him down a couple times there, and created some longer yardage situations. So yeah, those are positives. But Chase plays hard all the time, and plays usually plays on all four phases of the kicking game. Sometimes we pull him off one, or but usually he's at least three phases, a lot of times four. So he's a kid that has a lot of versatility for us, and certainly the pass rush was a good that was good for us today from him and like I said, Adam and Dietrich and Rashad. So those guys all helped us.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Next question, Phil Perry, followed by Mike Reese.
Hey, Bill. Devin Asiasi obviously got into the end zone today, and he's got a couple grabs. And I'm just curious how much you've seen him grow. Obviously, sort of a start kind of year for him. And if possible, knowing it's just one game, is it possible for a young player like that to, build some momentum towards second season after a pretty good game to finish off his first?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a stretch for me to think that a career is going to be defined by one play or one game. Is there a positive or a negative impact that could happen? Yeah, sure, but really, all of our rookie players are going to need to have that same opportunity to have a big year of growth from year one to year two, now that they understand more about what we're doing, now that they understand more about what our opponents do, now that they understand what an NFL season is like and the demands and the mental and physical grind that an NFL season entails. And if they do a good job of approaching it the right way and have the right work ethic and take advantage of the opportunity that they have to boost their career, then good things will happen for them. And if they don't, then there'll probably be other players that'll pass them by. And so that's what every year brings with those second and third year players is how far have they grown and how much have they improved, and is it enough to establish or pass other players that they're competing with. So we'll see how all that turns out. But again, we got an opportunity over the course of the year, at times not what we were looking for, but we had an opportunity for a lot of players to get game experience and play a decent amount of football. Again, sometimes they were the beneficiary of injuries or circumstances that allowed them greater playing time than what you would have normally expected, and so those opportunities will hopefully be good learning experiences for them, but also be a real reality check that this is how hard it is and how hard it's going to be, and how much they have to do in order to be successful against the kind of competition that they've seen this year in regular season games. So we'll see how all that plays out. I mean, I hope it does, but that'll be up to Devin or any other player going from year one to year two to make those, to put in the time, the work, the investment, the sweat, and in order to get the results.
Next question, Mike Reese.
Yep.
Followed by Chris Ryan.
Hey, Bill, on Jacoby Myers, do you go back to the Arabia Mountain High School tape there when you're thinking about dialing up the passing plays? And what are your thoughts about him as a passer?
Yeah, we didn't go back that far, Mike, so probably not doing enough homework there. But like I said, really, you see a lot of it on the practice field. When receivers run routes and catch the ball, and then they turn around and throw it back to the line of scrimmage to the the ball boys that are setting up the drill for the next guys to run and so forth. It does take too long to see if a guy throw the ball 20, 30 yards accurately, and then through game planning, like Josh, as usual, does a great job of finding opportunities to attack defenses and putting players in position to execute those plays. And then, of course, another thing that Josh does a great job of is the timing and the setting things up and making those calls at the right time and against the right defense that give them the best opportunity to succeed. So that play was well executed and well designed, and Jacoby made a good throw, and Cam finished it and got in the end zone. So it was a big play for us. It gave us a big boost and got us back in the game, and so that was. I know everybody wants to talk about tryouts and all their highlight tape from passing and so forth, but it's I mean, that'd be a good story. I can't say that's honestly the way it happened, though. But I appreciate the background.
And Bill, just a quick follow-up. I appreciate what you said on the question about Adam, because he had reached out as a colleague of mine, and he wanted to just make sure that what he had said was represented accurately, that it wasn't a report, it was part of an overall discussion. And just getting away from that overall, how would you just sort of describe what you learned from Cam this year, just being with him every day, and what that was like?
Yeah, I think I've covered that quite a few times, Mike, and I mean, nothing's changed. He had a great week this week and came in with a lot of energy and, did a great job in practice, with executing the game plan and, getting things right. We made some adjustments. We made some in-game adjustments, and overall we did a pretty good job of it. I wish, from a team standpoint, that we could have, performed better collectively as a team, not just offensively, but defensively, and in the kicking game, we could have collectively, performed a little bit better over the course of the season. But as was mentioned earlier, coming into today, it was what it was, and we were 6-9, and the only thing we could do today was be 7-9, and so that's what we tried to do. That doesn't erase the other games that were played this year, but nothing but respect for Cam and the way he's approached every day that he's been here.
Cam will be coming up next. We're going to do one final question. Sorry, we're going to go with Tara Sullivan, Boston Globe.
Thank you. And I actually did have a Cam follow. I was just curious, Bill, as you spoke about players going from year 1 to year 2 and learning what it takes, what was the value in Cam's model of example in that regard this year, the work he put in to learn a new system? Do you think, in very specific way, does that have an impact on young players in particular?
Are you? I'm not sure I understand the question, Tara. Are you saying that his example and the way that he approached it, would that affect other players?
Yeah, because he came in with such a strong resume, a great player, and yet it seemed, from what you've told us, first guy in, last guy out, all that work he put in. I'm just wondering, some of those young players, they might not have been around other quarterbacks, so maybe in them seeing what Cam did, if that's part of the leadership that you keep telling us you see in him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, honestly, I could probably say that about 20 players on this team. I mean, Devin McCourty, Jason McCourty, Lawrence Guy, Joe Tooney, David Andrews, James White, Matt Slater. I mean, you go right down the line. I mean, those guys they've been here for, some have been here for over a decade, and they approach every meeting and every installation and every walkthrough like they're rookies, like they're undrafted rookie players, attentive and trying to get it right. And if something happens, then they ask a coach a question as if, after 13 years or 10 years or however many years it's been, 5 years, it doesn't matter, that they have just as much of a thirst to get those situations right so that they'll be prepared. So if they come up in the game, they'll do the right thing. As a rookie would or a first-year player would who doesn't know, and some of the questions are more advanced and so forth. But we have so many players on our team that approach the game that way, that I couldn't just single out one person. Again, obviously our captains but there's a whole other group of players that aren't captains that have that same work ethic, same day-to-day consistency to excel. And part of excelling is improving, but they want to do everything right. They want to physically be prepared, mentally be prepared, study film, work with their teammates so that the communication is done properly and efficiently on the field when we have to make a change or an adjustment and all those things. So Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's an inspiration to all of us, coaches as well. But, any player who hasn't been around that, who hasn't experienced that, and doesn't have those kind of work habits, again, urge to get it right, commitment to winning, and what you have to do to win in this league. Yeah, of course, they can all learn from that. We can all learn from it. It's, that's what real good professional NFL players do, is they make that kind of commitment on a daily basis, throughout the entire season. They don't take days off. They don't miss opportunities to prepare and study and be ready to step out on the field and do their very best. They don't have those up and down, type of periods. And so absolutely anybody that watches those players in their room or on their side of the ball, or just in general, that's absolutely, those are great leadership examples. They don't even have to say anything. Like, leadership comes from doing your job and putting the team first when you do it. That's what leadership's really about. It's not about always standing up and giving a team speech. That's just going in there and doing your job is leadership, and your commitment to doing it for the team is leadership. So that's kind of how I measure it, and we have a lot of that. We had a lot of great leadership on this team. So I don't have any issue there. All right, well, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Appreciate everyone. Thank you.